Live from the Export Beer Garden studios, this is the Agenda Podcast.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
G'day there, welcome along to the Agenda Podcast with myself, G Lane, and Matt Heath. And Matt, you know, it was going to be the final potty of the year. We're going to review some sport and stuff. And I said, you know, it'd be good if we could dress up, you know, back in the number ones. You dressed up like a Christmas elf.
I read between the lines, and thought you meant put on a humiliating Christmas elf costume. So sorry about that. I've got that wrong.
You nailed that brief. You nailed that brief.
So right, I thought by number ones you meant humiliating Christmas elf costume. But I'm comfortable like this, and I feel I can deliver for sports fans across Aotearoa just fine dressed as this absolute pest.
Well, excellent. Well, hey, on this episode, I think we're just going to recap on a few things throughout the year. We'll go via code.
Yeah, okay, code by code.
Let's start with cricket.
Cricky.
Right. It's been an emotional year. It's a bit like being. Both the All Blacks and the Black Caps have provided us with an emotional roller coaster this year.
They certainly have.
So, and the news just hot off the press. Steady the ship has jumped ship. Well, he hasn't really. He's said he's had enough of the captaincy, and he's stepping down
across all formats.
Just Test cricket.
Just Test cricket.
That's the rumor. Just Test cricket.
That's interesting because I thought that it seemed more logical for maybe having Latham or Southey in the T20s and Latham in the ODIs.
Yeah.
But why is that? I guess maybe it comes to a point in your career, I guess, if you're Kane Williamson, where you've got to go, why do I do this? And how do I find what I need to continue? So maybe he's like, what he likes doing is just hitting balls.
Yeah.
And so if he can just concentrate, because maybe, you know, I've heard that he likes to spend time in the nets, and maybe he was having to spend too much time in strategy meetings and
with boring meetings with Steedy.
Yeah, and selection boards and that like. And he's like, no, I just want to be in the nets, getting throwdowns well into the night. Like, that's why I got into cricket, just throwdowns.
He's like the dog roll. He's like dog roll. See ball, hit ball, see ball, tackle man.
Yeah.
Throw ball, kick ball.
I think it'll be great for Kane Williamson if he can just get that off his mind and just concentrate. There have been some accusations, I guess you'd say, that he's a bit of a conservative captain.
That's him.
Especially after Baz McCullum.
Yeah,
and we are second from the bottom on the Test Championship above Bangladesh. But we won the Test frickin' Championship, so we don't give a shit about that thing anymore.
We're champions. We're world fucking champions.
World fucking champions. We don't give a fuck.
So, look, he was never going to be like Baz. And it was like... No. It's like we were going out with Pamela Anderson in her heyday. We were going out in boats. We were filming sex videos. Everyone was having a great time. And then all of a sudden you broke up with Pamela Anderson, started going out with Helen Clark.
Yeah.
Who was steady.
Still pretty hot, but yeah.
But steady and conservative. And you got what you got from Helen.
Yeah.
But with Pamela, you never knew what was coming.
Yeah,
and you knew
right.
you were in for a good time.
Yeah.
That was like Baz and the transition.
Yeah,
I
see exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
And so it's been emotional, but he said, like he said, fuck it, I want more throwdowns.
But you know, say if you're about to do a job at a building site and you notice you don't have the hammer, someone's left behind the circular saw, and you have to build a house, do you want to be the foreman on that site? What I'm getting at is you've got England coming down to play a bit of Baz ball.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
you're saying Baz. You're saying Baz on Baz.
I'm just saying that we might not have the tools in the shed at the moment that we need. Right. And as a captain, I mean, everyone talks about, you know, when Steve Hansen was, you know, captain of, coach of the All Blacks.
Yeah.
He had a lot of tools in the shed. It makes you look really, really good.
He had Bunnings.
You've basically had any tool you want to throw out there and build the shed. If building the shed, this is a really laboured metaphor. Building the shed.
I can see I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So is Kane just looking around and going,
there's no drill.
There's no
there's no drop saw. There's no level.
There's no ute.
there's no concrete. There's no reinforcing.
There's no nails. I can't build this victory against Baz. And for, Baz, the previous captain before you, I could see that eating at your soul a little bit.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Latham, great player, but he's no Carmen Electra in her heyday. Right. You're not out for a good time either. He's fairly conservative himself.
Yeah.
The only live wire you've got in there for Baz on Baz really is the Sexy Camel.
The Sexy Camel is an excellent T20 captain.
Yeah. So short form, Sexy Camel all the way. Go hard. But they're going to come up against an England team that play test matches like a T20.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? I mean, I suppose our pitchers will green them up, make them seam round. And
Is Latham across all? Have they announced Latham as the captain?
No,
I
they
guess
haven't.
it's inevitable.
No, I think it's inevitable that he'll take the test captaincy. It's only tests at this stage.
It's always a bit dodgy having a bowler as the captain. Maybe that's the thing around Sexy Campbell. Sexy Campbell. That's Pixie Campbell, the boss of Radio Hauraki. No, Sexy Camel.
Yeah.
It's kind of working with old Cum Dog, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until he got injured and they let Steve Smith back in. But
The Cum Dog.
the Cum Dog. You can imagine the Sexy Campbell just keeping himself on for a lot of overs.
Yeah, but
or
look,
taking himself off if there's a bit of toe going down.
But in T20, you only bowl 4 overs, really.
Yeah,
So you're in and out.
Yeah.
But look, it's not only Steady the Ship that has pulled pin on the captaincy. Got to remember this year, Trenty, he pulled pin on his contract. Guppy's pulled pin on his contract. Taylor retired. And Minute Peace signed a contract with the BBL and then said, go fuck yourself. He's gone as well.
So Trenty isn't playing tests in the upcoming series?
No. I think, no, he's not.
He's not going to be playing against England?
Nope.
So maybe that's an inside word from Kane Williamson. If you're going into a test and you don't have lovely Trenty, it's not nearly as fun to be captain.
Yeah. That's
As Carl Jamison, what the fuck is happening with him?
He snapped in half last year.
Yeah.
He snapped in half.
Because remember when we had that, how good it was when we had the Sexy Camel, the Sexy Camel, and lovely Trenty, and then you had that change of Gulliver.
Yeah.
And it just felt like we had so many bowling options, and when nothing else worked, you have in the pocket rocket Wagner.
Yeah.
It just felt like we'd cracked the code of Test cricket, and I guess that's why we made it all the way to the Test Championship and won it. But
and we cracked it, and now we're frying that egg, and it's now scrambled. So T20 World Cup was on. We made the when we had the semi-finals of that, didn't we? Farted through the semis, played our best game at the start against Aussie. That was good. That was good.
That was worth it for me.
We should have pulled out of the World Cup after that.
Yeah, that's it. Take the ball and go home.
We should have pulled to Pakistan. And gone. Someone's called in a bomb threat to our hotel in Melbourne. We're going home.
We're going home. And then everyone go, wow, you smashed the Aussies, so I assume you were going to win this whole thing.
Yeah, totally. James, you've been sitting there the whole time, very quiet. You're not into the cricket. You're not into talking about the cricket year in review.
I actually disappeared to make a cuppa. Matt Heath is dressed as an elf.
Yeah, well, I told everyone to dress up.
Elf.
I told everyone to dress up, and you came at what you wear every day.
Well, this is an accident. This was just the hat and shirt I wanted to wear, and then I've come in and everyone says it looks like an elf.
Did you say dress up? Where was that?
No, I didn't.
Hey, but the great thing is that cricket has been. I think we beat Australia.
Yes, well, that's what I was saying.
Which is so freaking good.
And knocked them out.
We pretty much ruined their tournament. They were a bit worried though because after that tournament they couldn't get anyone to a one-dayer over there.
Yeah.
And they were like, but we love the Australian cricket team, they're number one, and we're looking at going, you'd never have that with the All Blacks. You'd always have a crowd. Because that's always been our argument, isn't it? We love rugby, they love cricket more, and that's why it's such a big deal. But they couldn't get anyone in.
Yeah, well,
what's going on?
It's been a terrible year for the Aussies, really, because Shane Warne died. Remember this year?
Yep.
In March this year, Warne died
this year.
Andrew Simons, he died as well.
Shitter.
They've had a real shitbag of a year. The Australians.
There's not much to hang your hat on. There's Cum Dog, sure.
Yeah.
There's Bill Ralston.
Oh, how's Warner?
Who's Bill Ralston?
Oh, it's Mitchell Starc.
Oh, yes.
So what that attack, the attack of Pooh Bear. I've got a lot of time for the Cum Dog.
Yeah.
Pooh Bear is a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great when he's leading the Chinese Communist Party, but there's something a little bit annoying about him as an Australian fast bowler. Then you've got Bill Ralston, who's clearly, he must be sitting up just giggling how much he's got off scot-free from that whole scandal. As it raises its head again, it's like... Someone's got to point out that he fucking knew because he was the guy bowling the ball, and there's never been a fast bowler that hasn't looked at the state of the fucking ball just to decide which side he's putting the fucking seam on.
No, but what's going to happen though?
I mean, which side's going which way?
What's going to happen though is every cricketer, when they write their book, will say, "Shall I talk about the time that I actually did the ball tampering?" And they'll say, "No, don't do it." And so it'll be kind of left to a deathbed moment. You know what I mean? Like, ball tampered.
Meanwhile, David Warner's on the crucifix. With his
I too ball tampered.
Paul Ralston will be on his deathbed, Mitchell Starc, and he'll call a grandson over and he'll go, I fucking did it. It was fucking me all along.
Mitchell Starc will be. But then I think with Mitchell, it could be. I'd like to think it's like a Crutchy Nut cornflakes ad where it's like, I'm coming down too, me too. And they all come out of the woodwork and like, I ball tampered as well. I used a bottle cap. And it's like, there's got to be more ball tamperers out there.
Do you think there's ever been a Pakistani ball tamperer?
Nah, never.
Never.
Do you think Chris Pringle, did you think he ball tampered with that bottle top?
No.
And got a 7th for?
He just loved fizzy drinks. You'd always have a bottle.
Absolutely
bottle top,
above reproach. Well, they might have admitted to it, did he? There was a bit of rubbing on some concrete.
Yeah, look, he did admit to it. Because everyone was doing it.
Isn't the son of Pringle playing for Holland?
Oh my God, have you seen the state of him?
No.
He is a unit.
Is he?
He's got big kind of milk bottles for glasses. He's got a big ginger mullet. He's a unit. Wonderful unit. He was my player of the tournament.
Wonderful units of cricket. G Lane, the book is coming out. It's a real stocking filler.
Look, the year in review.
Can we talk about minute piece as well?
The mullet's back.
Yeah, well, it's back, but I mean, if we, all the people who've departed, you've probably talked about, but minute piece, there's something about just his swagger and how he couldn't give a shit attitude.
Sometimes a lack of match awareness is really helpful. Sometimes you're like, we really need you to shut up shop, and he just comes in and swings the fucking gate in the
gets
first
100.
ball.
Yeah. They got 100 against South Africa, remember?
Yeah, and it's like just not knowing what's going on. Like, what are those? Was Gary Stead go out and said, "Hey, can you sort of you probably take a few to get your eye on?" And he goes, "Oh, yep.
I am the minute piece.
I do what I want. I have no idea what's going on."
Can you remember
The piece doesn't wait. He loves the advice can come in. He welcomes it. Yeah, but give me all the advice you want.
It just doesn't sit. It doesn't sit.
He's a smooth stone in a fast flowing river.
Yeah, the vice is like the waves on a beach. It washes up and then washes out.
Can you remember the time he forgot his bat?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
He got halfway out into the field. This is an international.
Yeah, he was close to forfeiting. He had to run upstairs to get the bat before he went out. It's like, that says to me someone that's not nervous, because, like a nervous guy will sit there completely geared up and ready to go, holding their bat nervously between their legs. Mine piece was like, I'm in next, am I? I might get the bat in a bit.
It's making me emotional.
Can you imagine, how there's always been a few factions in the Black Caps over recent years. The piece just stands alone, eh? It's like, I'm not fucking going, I don't give a shit about any of that.
They love him. The players love him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's apparently the greatest individual.
But the good news, plays a lot of golf with Logan Peter Payne. The good news is his mullet's back. Which is great news for me, and it's great news for the ACC shop.
Oh, you fucking sunk the house into those Colander Black Flaps.
We've got thousands of Colander Black Flaps.
How many have you sold?
If you don't know what a Colander Black Flap is, it is a hat with a built-in black mullet flowing out the back. It is one of the greatest ever pieces of merchandise. I ordered them. A week later, they went to Bangladesh, I think, and the motherfucker shaved his mullet off. And then had a short back and sides for a year, and then decides to retire from international cricket. You fucked us. But he's back. The mullet's back. I might be able to sell 2 or 3 more.
I can't believe you're trying to sell more stuff. The ACC shop is running at above capacity. There's so much stuff flying out the door.
And flying back.
Yeah, flying back when Joseph Jury sometimes puts
what's your top seller?
Sent to as the address. But the thing is, it's just flying out there. You've got a guy, Joseph Jury, who's in charge of so much admin, so much infrastructure, so much of the ACC, and you've just thrown running a full warehouse on his ass.
Yeah.
And not just like running the inventory on the warehouse. He's going in there with a forklift, he's unloading it, he's packing the parcels. The guy's, and the amount of craft beer he's drinking as well is not helping.
To be fair, you're right. I think I may have been a reach too far, because we got a lot of packages sent back to us with not the wrong address on it, James McOnie, Matt Heath, not the wrong address, no address. Okay, and then today I got a whole lot of packages returned. Everything's filled out. Details of the person that's supposed to receive it and the sender, except they're on the wrong side. So it's delivered to the ACC, 3 Graham Street or whatever. So we've couriered it out and couriered it back to ourselves, and the sender is the purchaser. So
you got to go with a full-time job, and then you throw the Black Friday sale on top of it.
That's true.
He's piling $10,000 worth of merch out the door every afternoon.
Yeah,
you've broken him.
Yeah, I know. But if you do want to check it out, text shop to 3236. There's still some great.
Can you tell us what your best seller is?
It'll get to you. It will get to you.
Wait a second. Can you tell us your best seller?
Yes, Steady the Ship hats.
Right.
and the black flaps
Yes.
are the biggest sellers.
Right.
Biggest T-shirt sellers are the Steady the Ship T-shirt we've got, and the Thanks Mate, and also the Stain to Elliot T-shirt as well.
Does the Steady the Ship T-shirt have the cap on it?
It's got a big steering wheel of a ship with a cap on top of it.
Yes.
And there's a Stain to Elliot one. There's a Believe in the Leave does quite well. So it's just a picture of someone just leaving with their middle stump cartling out.
Yeah.
There's beer mats. There's like bottle openers. There's pins.
There's my line of Daddy's Dilly merch that I released, and it's sold out immediately, and you haven't restocked.
Well, you haven't provided us with the stock. I haven't even. Do you know what? Actually, I don't think we've even sent it out because you haven't provided the stock.
Oh wow!
You said you had 50 or 60 items, which we sold in half a day.
Yeah.
You need to talk to distribution.
Yeah, I need to talk about getting more of Daddy's Dilly, and it's very popular.
What about
Daddy's Dilly merch.
Export party shirts are big as well. They're a huge seller.
That's a great shirt. That's a great summer shirt. I'll be wearing mine extensively.
It's a lovely one. What about a T-shirt?
Have you got anything under the XXL though? I'm fucking dying in the one you gave me. It's like I'm camping when I'm just walking around.
I'm expecting you to have a big summer.
Yeah.
Oh right, are you expecting? Oh, you're preparing for the blowout. Because
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's smart. That's smart. Yeah, thanks
I'm
for
looking
that.
after you, man.
Thank you.
Fucking
Because then I'm at the end of the summer. I'm not trying to do up my expert gold shirt and I can't get it up. It's like, look at me. There's still plenty of room. Look at me.
What about a T-shirt for Jason Hoyt about the quick single, or send him back?
Oh yeah.
Send him back, Jason Hoyt.
Or just pads falling off.
Yeah, pads falling off, akimbo, all that sort of stuff. It's just Hoyty, send him back.
With just the line, he's just so weak.
or just maybe it's just waiting.
No, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. I think it's send him back, Hoyty, send him back, or
some stats. It's like
Hoyty's quick single.
1 off.
No, you got 0 off 3 balls.
Yeah, 0 off 3. That'd be good to have the stats. Something. Hoyt, 0 off 3. Waiting.
Knock of the century.
Right, let's move to global games. This year, there was the Empire Games, the Commonwealth Games, and also I completely forgot the Winter Olympics.
Oh, wait, I thought we did you already do rugby?
No, we're coming to rugby. I'm just going to finish off with Fozzie Bear, the Fozzie Bear fiasco.
The Foz.
Waka, waka, waka. So a couple of golds at the Winter Olympics.
In China.
The
strangest Winter Olympics of all time, because where they had that big air and half pipe, where there was like a nuclear power plant.
Yeah, it looked like the outskirts of Springfield, didn't it?
And then
the five-eyed fish.
But there was no snow anywhere except this amazing jump. But it was great. It was great for us.
Well, we've never won gold in that, and we've got 2. So Nico Porteous, Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott. They're global legends of their sport. The X Games legends. They win it all. And so we've never really had that. Because remember, it was Annalisa Coburger back in 92.
Oh, and Simon Wee Rooteny. Don't forget about him.
Oh, no, but it's true. Simon was there. A bit of Rooteny.
Yeah.
Claudia
Riegler. Yeah, Claudia Riegler.
So the thing is, but Annalisa won silver, right? So she got a medal. And we've been waiting. Couple of speed skaters, like, oh, they're good. And then, and they were in Lycra as well, just doing their thing. And then these two have just been, they're child prodigies, really.
Because at the Jossie Wells Invitational, you were there, Matt Heath.
Yeah.
And there was 100 athletes from 20 different countries around the world. Zoe competed on the big air that day. But when we had a party with the athletes, I was saying to a couple of them, I was hammered. They were all drinking Coke because they're underage. I was like, you have provided the Winter Olympics with the biggest dick shrinker, because what used to be the coolest thing to watch was the ski jump. Remember watching the ski jump? And that was the biggest thing. It was like, oh my God, look at them fly. They're so extreme.
That looks so lame now.
It's so lame.
You're just going to fly through the air like a total pussy?
No spins, no flips, no fucking no reverse pluck turkey in the ostrich's egg or whatever. There's none of that shit.
You're just a fucking trumped up glider. You're like a kite up there.
But also, was it the flying squirrels do it better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just jump off a tree and just go, we're gliding, So in the end, their suit is kind of all padded out so they can do the flying squirrel effect.
It's so boring.
And then when you look at the jump, even though it would make you shit your pants, they're never that far away from land.
Yeah.
It sort of follows their trajectory. Yes. But at the same time, that gave us Eddie the Eagle and some wonderful storylines.
Yeah.
But nothing compared to all that. The Winter Olympics before all the trick stuff was kind of bollocks. Really.
So missionary.
Yeah.
So missionary.
Oh, there's fast stuff.
And I like how those guys sort of seem like they don't care.
Yeah.
It's sort of just another gig on the world tour. You know, they've got a very
Totally.
You know, the way they celebrate another team player winning because they're on the road together all the time. They're not a bunch of cats being herded together like most sports. Those guys smoke a lot of weed, spend a lot of time together, they love each other. Next week there's something just as big. They have a lot of sex.
I think the weed and the E does help with the loving. You know, like I watch them when they dry hump each other. Like it's like they're from the same nation. They've just all won the World Cup or something. But they've literally been knocked off the podium by someone, and they're over there going, "Oh my God, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen." But I think that's the double rainbow guy.
Because we were having tequila shots at 4 a.m. together,
and shrooms,
and shrooms,
So
that's fine. And tomorrow I'll post something on Instagram that'll make me $250,000, and then we'll be flowing somewhere else, and someone else will be giving us some money, and it's just a rolling teenage early 20s party.
And then you end up on the Earnslaw in Queenstown getting waterboarded by some middle-aged men like us.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
But it's quite interesting because they end up like, you know, how if a skier wins, like a downhill skier, they show the sponsor and it's always Atomic or one of their skis. But those guys have got sort of 50 sponsors to think about, you know? It's like, shit, Red Bull, all these different people. And then there's the ski manufacturer, then there's all this other shit.
But they don't actually do that because when we were down in Wanaka for the Jossie Wells, obviously the biggest athletes that came down, like Red Bull came with them, Solomon came with them. And so Solomon and Red Bull all had TV crews. So they didn't have to do anything. They just had to do their shit and they video it and put it out as their content. So they just have to make sure they're wearing the Red Bull helmet.
What do you say to allegations someone was putting at their after party after that? Someone was putting whiskey in their foreskin and firing it around the party.
I can confirm that was happening.
Yeah,
it was certainly happening. It was certainly tested.
What? Whiskey in the foreskin?
And then squirting it into people's mouths.
A certain BBC commentator was just set up shop and within a seat and was just squirting a lot of whiskey out of his foreskin. It was like someone trying to water the garden. It was like,
and it went back. And think of that. The thing is, we shocked them with so many things, some of those athletes, because we got off the bus after going in Queenstown to Wanaka without urination. All these young kids have got bladders the size of the Earnslaw.
Huge.
We're all these middle-aged men who are all fucking busting to go for a piss, and the bus driver wouldn't stop. They pulled up outside Wanaka because some of the athletes were staying in this hotel or motel. We all piled out, Scotty Stevenson included, and just urinated the closest possible. And I was urinating on the back wheel of the bus. Scotty decided to actually just clean some of the grit off the side of the bus.
Yeah, so you're doing a job, really, aren't you?
And then this Canadian comes
I was urinating in my mouth league style.
Yeah, you were doing a bubbler. And a guy gets off, and one of the young guys goes, "Oh my God, I have never seen that." And
I've seen a lot of people drink a lot of beers in my time, but I have never seen that.
But I mean, to be fair,
what was he looking at?
Scotty was autographing it with his urine. So that was quite cool. That was pretty cool. But then the bus driver got angry and wouldn't let us back on the bus anyway. But that's another story.
If you piss on the bus, getting back on the bus is always a tricky one.
I was innocently bubbling myself behind a pine tree, and then I was lumped in with the bus urinator.
Sorry. But then they saw what was going on with the foreskin, with the whiskey and the foreskin with the sprinkler at the after party, and they were just like, mate, you've seen it all now.
Yeah, that's
so there's a BB. There's an English commentator, the ones who speak like this, and it's a wonderful day here, and I'd like to put some whiskey in my foreskin now as I sprinkle it around the pub. Willy-nilly. Willy-nilly is probably appropriate.
His first name's Ed, and his surname is the last name of Lehart.
If you and Scotty weeing on the bus was Sputnik orbiting the planet, what Ed did at that party was Apollo 11 landing on the moon.
Well, he once did that at another party, and he missed and hit Jodie Rimmer in the eye with the whiskey.
Yeah, that's right.
He was aiming for his wife's mouth with the whiskey, and it went off to the side because it's quite hard to control it. Hit Jodie Rimmer.
Very hard. It's very hard.
He built the glory hole.
You can't blame him for that. It's very hard. It's very hard to aim and get it right on your wife.
I'm just wondering, is this the movie that has never been made? Is what the BBC get up to? Actually, some of them are pretty freaking dodgy, but just serious broadcasters, what they get up to after hours is the movie that needs to be made.
Hey, so let's move on. Com Games. Yes. Can anyone remember anything that happened?
Yes, one athlete.
What?
Well,
who?
A few. Aaron Gates.
Oh, that's right.
Remember Aaron Gates?
Out the gate.
Gate.
Gate. And he won the road, because like sometimes we win on the track and we go, course, yeah, we're pretty not bad on the track, round and round. But he won on the frickin' road. And I was going, holy shit.
Is that the
Aaron Gate?
Is that the equivalent of doing like Daytona and then running a Formula One on a street race?
They open the door like Forrest Gump. Out you go.
Yeah.
And they all fucking take off, and Aaron Gate's the best.
Yeah. So, okay.
I thought he was pretty cool.
I legitimately can't remember.
I remember
much.
being so excited about all the gold that was coming. There was a golden shower going down.
It was a golden shower. There was the Joelle King, the heartbreak.
Oh, that's right.
And then she won.
The squash.
Yeah.
Matt, remember anything else from the Commonwealth Games? Can you remember anything at all?
G Lane, why are you in your underpants?
Do you know what? It's a good question. I'll show you actually. These here. These here. These here. Can you see these?
Yeah, I can see it all.
Can you move your tie, please?
Yeah.
See these?
Move your
See
tie.
what you're working with.
Move the tie. Move the tie.
These are the beneath undies, which you've all got a pair of. Now,
Oh.
that's all I wear.
Yeah.
I don't even wear pants anymore. I just wear the beneath because I got the bra for your balls.
Oh,
the bra for your
I've got the
balls.
sock for your sack.
they cuddle your balls. They coddle your balls. They look after
they
your
look
balls.
after your balls.
They wash your balls.
I wish that'd be good, wouldn't it? Like the ball machine at the golf.
Yeah.
Oh.
But look, I mean, girls have had it good.
That might create something
I always thought
else.
the ball machine was for my balls when I'm playing golf. I don't know. Is that for golf balls?
It's either or. It depends.
Oh, geez, you wouldn't
Fucking
want
hurts.
It's for your depends as well. Yeah.
But girls have had it for too long. They get comfy bras.
Yeah.
For their breasts.
Yeah, how
And
come they
we've
get-
never had anything for our balls.
Why are women getting their breasts coddled when our balls have been just left hanging?
Now you just grab a pair of beneath underpants. They're actually the best
They're
underpants
great.
I've ever owned.
So many designs.
yeah.
And they
they're good.
present your package.
Oh, they do.
They present.
They present
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah, they do. They present it well.
Beyond your means.
Are they doing any push-up padded?
I think they need to do the other side.
Underwires.
Like maybe pick up your butt.
No, I'd like some padding up front.
Okay.
Oh,
Like a
padding
padded,
up,
like
that
the
could be
equivalent
good
of a
for me.
padded bra.
My ass is starting to turn into my dad's ass, and it's just flat. Like, because I always looked at my dad's ass when he was wandering around naked and going, do you sit down all day at work? Because your ass is so flat. But it's just what happens when you get old, isn't it? Your ass just turns into a flat
Yeah.
kind of desert.
No, there's no.
James is looking at me like,
There's no doubt about it, G Lane. They're a comfy pair of underwear that really treat your balls like they deserve to be treated.
And also, they're the official underwear of the ACC. Rugby. I've gone through the same emotional roller coaster with rugby as I have with cricket, James McOnie. It's been a hell of a year.
Yeah, exactly. Well, rugby's been that thing that kept giving, but also almost threatening to take away. Fozzie just sort of running this gauntlet where everyone was sort of going, right, you're gone. Razor thinking he's got the big job. But Fozzie did the brilliant thing, which was to throw two people under the bus while he was on the All Blacks bus.
Yep.
I mean,
Was it moving while he did that?
possibly. It was a good dunk. And then it was
Did
Plums.
he get out and wee on the bus?
Oh, did he? I don't know. He probably would have.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
I'd
that's
say
it.
Brad Moore would have as he was going.
Once you throw Brad Moore and Plums under the bus, it's like Fozzie's weighing on them. And then they carry on, and it's worked a treat because Fozzie have survived. He's survived, and the Muppet Show continues, and actually wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too bad, but
Wasn't
still.
too bad.
But can you put it down to that? It's kind of like when you sacrifice a couple of virgins by huffing them into a volcano and then the crops grow. And you're like, was it the sacrificing of the virgins or were the crops going to grow anyway?
Yeah, the virgins.
Well,
It's the virgins?
in place of the virgins, he got the beautiful Jason Ryan. Just
a
mean you
virgin, isn't he?
you sacrifice him,
I
possibly.
assumed he was a virgin.
Yeah, well, you get-
Brad Moore and Plums were virgins.
They were virgins.
Yeah.
You get I don't think Joe Schmidt is a virgin. Jason Ryan might be, but yeah. So Schmidt's kind of coming in, going, "I'm a virgin too," and like everyone's going, "Yeah, good, right." But Jason Ryan, everyone's going, "Oh yeah."
Old yo-yo pants. You're not a virgin.
So Schmidt's come in and Jason Ryan, and it's kind of I feel like it's not so much the clean out; it's really just the fact that the thrill of facing. The jaws of defeat, everything, knowing that it's your time. He saw the white light. He was dead.
Yeah, he
and
was
buried.
dead.
He was dead and buried. And coming away from that is kind of the biggest, it's like that euphoric moment. And I think everybody even in the team felt it because they all said, we're backing Fozzie.
Yeah, you got defibbed by the players and that win in South Africa, didn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
That was
so,
the defib.
So I guess, and also the French referee in Melbourne gave us the kiss of life as well. So all those sorts of things along the way. Fozzie's tiptoeing, and I feel sorry for him because that last England the draw with England was the most Fozzie way ever to finish a year.
What a Fozzie way to finish with a draw.
And it was, everyone was thinking, oh shit, we've come right. And then boom, boom, boom.
Could you muddy
England
the
are
waters more than a draw, like a fantastic first half?
Oh my God.
And then just no defence in the second.
No defence in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, draw. And humiliating as that was for us and confusing it was for the year.
Yeah.
That number 10 booting it out and not trying to go for the win. Just being happy with the draw. England, really?
Especially when there was nothing on the line.
It doesn't mean fucking anything. So just go for the win. Like, what is wrong with you?
I had other people.
You'd had absolute run of the field at that point. We had no defence. We had no idea what was going on. We were one down.
Yeah.
Back yourself to score and win the game or at least get a penalty.
Yeah.
But that guy was handing out so many penalties. I think they thought we could just be penalised just
and
for
lose the game. Yeah.
for having the ball in hand.
Well, even Owen Farrell. Oh, sorry, you go, Gino.
No, but I don't think the public would have blamed him if he tried to run it to win the game. They gave away an unjust penalty, they kick it, and All Blacks win. They were like, well, it was a great
no,
comeback.
wait a second. If you lived in England, they would have definitely.
No, really?
Yeah, they would have.
Are we just not capable?
Why would you give it back to New Zealand? They're the most dangerous team in the world. Come on, you lot. But the thing is, Owen Farrell, who I don't like listening to, but he actually made sense. He said something like, when Marcus Smith got the ball, they committed so many players to the breakdown that they didn't have enough people on their feet to carry on.
Right.
Still, to win the next phase. He said we committed 7 or 8 to that ruck. So when Marcus got the ball, he said we didn't have enough support around him. So
imagine
it's kind of a convenient excuse.
Imagine if the Spartans had said that. We've only got 300 of us, and we've got the whole Persian army of 2 million.
That's right.
Yeah. No, the Spartans went, fuck it.
They kicked it to touch.
We're going to work on our abs.
And kick it to touch.
And kick it to touch. That's fine. We'll just kick Sparta to touch, and you guys can have it.
It's all that, Well, if Fozzie had if Fozzie was thinking, this is a great end to the year, isn't he? This is the weird thing with Fozzie's life. 10 minutes before the end of the South Africa test, he's thinking, I'm gone. You know, he's planning holidays and booking early because you got to get on Expedia or whatever and get the best flights or whatever.
He's got a holiday house.
And then at the end of the the England game, 10 minutes before the end, he's thinking, this is going to be great. I'm going to be
what a summer.
What a summer. Speaking engagements, people have me back on shoulders and stuff.
Shit, if I was Fozzie, I would not like going out in public. Not for the abuse, because people are nice. New Zealanders are nice. It would be the advice. Be someone like me having a few drinking beers and going, okay, well, mate, you know, like what's happening on the wings in terms of defence? Where's the position playing? Who's telling?
What's happening to Perifeta cheese?
Yeah, what's going on here? Just advice. And what you need to do, mate. What to fix the whole situation, okay?
Oh, imagine it.
Imagine how punishing that would be. Because everyone in New Zealand thinks they're a fucking rugby expert.
They do. And you know what? If he would listen to you, Matt Heath, the weird thing about Fozzie is he's a bloody nice bloke, so he's quite earnest. And if you said that to him, he'd say, okay, Matt, let me explain it. And he'd give you a 45-minute reply. So it would take him, he would never get anywhere.
Yeah, right.
He'd be spending most of his time outside the Foursquare at the local Waihi Beach.
Do you know the one thing that I think...
It'll be Matt Heath and then it'll be someone else. Then Lee Hart would turn up.
I think that Fozzie has played one really clever card ahead of the World Cup next year. Those cross kicks in your own 22, I think that's going to have people asking questions like, is he crazy? Are they crazy? Is he cray-cray? Like, are these guys crazy? They're gonna.
Is that Lee Hart or Fozzie?
No, there's Fozzie.
Oh, Fozzie, yes, yeah. They both do that.
Did I say Lee Hart?
No. But he has the defensive bombs.
No, I'm talking about those wipers. Wipers. That's fucking risky for a guy whose career is on the line. But just invite some weird questions. It's like, they're going to... What are they going to do? Is that what they're going to do?
A ray of sunshine, though. The Black Ferns, against the odds, took out the World Cup. They were... dead and buried. 2 years ago, they were so shit when they went on their European tour.
Hey, I've got to go, and can this not be construed
as
a move against...
You sexist piece of shit.
To support the Wahine tour of the Black Ferns, I'm 100% behind the thing. I don't want anyone saying I'm not.
But you're leaving.
Fucking into it.
But you're leaving.
I've got to leave.
You're storming out. Are you doing a walkout?
I'm not walking out. I've got to leave. My kid's got an orthodontist appointment.
No, that's that's a walkout.
No, it's not. Don't pin this on me.
You sexist piece of shit.
I'm a hundy behind him.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah,
are you sure?
Let me just check. I'll just check the artery. Okay, are you 100% behind the Black Ferns?
Wahine tour for life.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Okay,
let him go.
See you, Matt.
Let him go.
Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone.
Yes. Right. So look. What a fairy tale. What a fairy tale that was. given the circumstances around the last couple of years, the difficulties I've had, the change of guard, the new coaches, they brought in the professor, they brought in Sir Graham Henry. Okay, ladies, this is what we're going to do. Okay,
Ted.
Okay,
You can
ladies,
get better.
you can get better.
The main way is to listen to Smithy. Smithy, over to you.
And if you win, you can come out to my house on Waiheke, dance on the benches. I'll get Raywin to go into the cellar. We'll drink some nice Chardonnay.
We'll have some Chardonnay. We'll get some antipasto going with some feta. We'll have all that stuff for you ladies, and it'll be beautiful. And by the way, it's my last coaching gig. It's like we know.
Yeah.
I love Ted so much. Do you know what? Having him around, like a little Yoda, like he does look like Yoda.
Yeah,
You know,
he is. He's great, but he's so
the
he's so
eyebrows
friendly.
coming out to meet you. He is, and you know what? He knows a lot, and he's kind of like the guy who's the smartest person in the room, but says the least.
Yeah, and he's a school principal. He knows how to operate groups, and he knows how to operate different personalities, and he knows that's his strength. And he's just a good cunt, because he was lost here at NZME, where ACC's based and where the studio's based.
Yeah.
He was lost one day, and we were commentating a cricket match from in here, and I looked out the door, and he's got his satchel,
Yeah.
and I said, "Are you all right, Sir Graham?" And he goes, "Actually, no, I don't know where I'm going." And he's like, "Would you like to commentate some cricket?" "Sure." And he came in, and he goes, "Don't call me Sir Graham. I'm Ted." And he goes, "Oh, okay, Ted."
Yeah.
I saw him Sir Ted, and he goes, "Oh, that'll do." And then he sat down and he commentated the South African test with us for an hour. And I was like, "Are you supposed to be somewhere?" He goes, "I think so."
Well, can we put that up over the summer? I feel like the deep dive archive of. I mean, there's a few commentaries that stand out, but I feel like Ted sticking around for an hour is a great one.
It was hilarious.
Can we fish that out?
Yeah, we could probably fish out. There's a great photo of him there looking dangerously confused with his bag. And it was myself, him, and Beck Sandys, I think, were on the call then. And no, he talked about all sorts of things.
That's just this past year, isn't it?
Yeah, mainly the Black Clash he talked about, which is on again on the 20th of Jan, which is good times.
Wonderful.
But should we move into the next topic? The next topic is the Football World Cup. You have been balls deep in this World Cup, haven't you, James?
Shit, mate. I've honestly been so into this World Cup. And I was appalled, like a lot of people, at the homophobia, the lack of beer, whatever it is. You know, like it was too much for me, and even probably the corruption that led the tournament to be handed out there. But now that it's on, I'm like, I'm into this tournament. I'm into this tournament because the World Cup for me is nostalgia. It's pure nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
I've always watched it since I was a kid. I need to see the best players in the world going toe to toe, and also I need the fairy tales of Morocco, and also the big stars like we've got now with Messi and Mbappe in the final. It's like shit, man. That you couldn't have scripted that better.
Yeah, and we've got the live watch along from 4 a.m. The TAB and the ACC are hosting this watch along at Shapiro's at 4 a.m. on Monday morning. I think myself, Seamus Martin, and Steve Holloway will be at Shapiro's doing the live watch along. And with the TAB at the moment, if you open up a new account, the TAB, deposit $10, they give you $100 worth of bonus bets to slam on the World Cup. So put it all on France.
Do you know
That's
what?
all I'm saying.
Your watch along would have been so vital if Morocco had made the final, because I cannot handle the whistling of the fans.
My God. What
and
is
I'm
that
like,
about? What is the whistling about?
Yeah, and it's just too much, you know.
But the Football World Cup is wrapping up Monday morning, 4 a.m. Shame it's not the 8 a.m. kickoff like the semis have been, and it's a 4 a.m. because that's a real wonder of a time to get up and watch that. But we'll be doing that. You can watch it live with us on the ACC Facebook and YouTube channels. Just jump on with us, and you can maybe see the sun come up with us for that game. It is France versus Argentina. It is Mbappe versus Messi. It's the final that everyone kind of wanted, apart from Brazil-Argentina or Brazil-France.
Brazil-France,
Germany.
I think because of the Messi story, the beautiful Messi story, it needs to be that, because you've got Mbappe and Messi, so you've got the two big stars. You've got France with all this kind of class and Argentina with all this potential around them. So it's perfectly poised. This is the final that if you could have asked for, I think this is probably the perfect final, because France get to defend, and then one of the legends, in this case Messi, gets to go to the dance. Yep. And he's had the sort of career that deserves it. And also there's no nobody's got more pressure on them. Okay, Ronaldo maybe, but Messi has got the ghost of Diego Maradona. Literally, he looks into the stands. There's more posters of Diego Maradona than there are of him.
He's a big line of cocaine, just reminding him.
Exactly, reminding him. And they love Maradona because not only was he outstanding and just a genius, he was also bolshy. He was like the kind of he exemplified, like Quinn was saying, the angry South American waiting for tickets, going, it's my turn, it's my time.
Latino, yeah.
Yeah, and so Messi hasn't been there until this World Cup. He's done a couple of things. He called a couple of Dutch players fools. Bobo. B-O-B-O.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Get away, fool.
How niggly was that game? It was 17 yellow cards. When they came that ball into the reserve bench, that Argentinian, I thought that was, and the whole bench emptied like it was a Major League Baseball. No one threw a punch because they're all pussies, but it looked great. It was a highlight of the World Cup for me.
I know,
just like the nonchalant and just, he hit it so hard, straight into the bench. The bench all in one just came running out, throwing
Come on, it's like, I actually love that. The fact that there was that much niggle and sort of like feistiness. What Messi did by telling them to go away, you fools, and all this kind of stuff. Argentinian fans have tattooed that phrase on them now. He's kind of become Maradona already in the terms like he's feisty too, just like us.
Yes. Hey, that wraps up the agenda for this week. Throughout summer, we've got some summer specials coming up, so we've still got the agenda every week, so you can listen to it on your road trip while you're getting a road dog and riding the rumble strip. But with those summer specials as well, we've got the behind the absolute scenes out the back of that. But have a safe and happy Christmas, James.
Thank you, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers. This is our last one for the year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
That's the summer specials from here on in.
Nice.
But first kind of live one. We've got another one next week. Oh, we got another one next week. Probably have.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. I'm in my underpants. I'm ready for summer.
You really are.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.